The moon is never truly dark. Even when Earth's shadow swallows it whole, it glows, bathed not in silver, but in the colors of fire. At that moment, every sunrise and sunset on our planet is bending around the curve of the Earth, spilling its light onto the lunar surface. The result is a vision so strange that for thousands of years, people thought it could only be a sign from the gods. This is the Curious Playbook, where we explore the science behind the beauty of our universe and the stories humanity has told to make sense of it. Today, we're following the path of light and shadow to uncover the truth behind one of the most dramatic sights in the night sky, the blood moon. From the precise cosmic geometry that creates it, to the myths of jaguars, demons, and dragons that once explained it, we'll see how a simple lunar eclipse became one of the most feared and most celebrated celestial events in human history. Now let's step into the shadow and watch the moon turn red. A lunar eclipse begins with geometry. Sun, Earth, and moon lining up in a straight, or nearly straight, line, a rare arrangement called syzygy. The Earth takes center stage here, slipping directly between the sun and the moon during a full moon phase. As it does, our planet casts a long shadow into space, and if the moon happens to wander into this shadow, the show begins. Earth's shadow comes in two flavors. The penumbra is the outer zone, where sunlight is only partially blocked. If the moon drifts through it, you might notice a faint, almost ghostly dimming, a subtlety so mild that many casual observers miss it entirely. Deeper inside is the umbra, the heart of the shadow, where Earth blocks all direct sunlight. Crossing into the umbra changes everything. There are three types of lunar eclipses depending on how the moon interacts with that shadow. A penumbral eclipse, the faintest, is more of a whisper than a roar. A partial eclipse sees a chunk of the moon swallowed in darkness. But the most breathtaking is the total lunar eclipse, when the moon is fully immersed in the umbra and paradoxically begins to glow. This is the moment we call the blood moon. Unlike the sun during a solar eclipse, the moon in eclipse is perfectly safe to look at. You can stand under the open sky for hours without worrying about your eyes. And that's a good thing, because a total lunar eclipse isn't a fleeting blink. Totality can last nearly 2 hours, and the entire process, from the moon's first brush with Earth's penumbra to its final release, can span several hours. What's more, everyone on the night side of Earth gets a front row seat, weather permitting. If the moon completes its orbit around Earth every 29.5 days, why don't we see this spectacle every month? The answer lies in a cosmic tilt. The moon's orbit is inclined by about 5 degrees relative to Earth's orbit around the sun, meaning most of the time it passes above or below Earth's shadow. Lunar eclipses of any type only happen 2 to 4 times a year, and total eclipses are even rarer. The deep crimson hue of a blood moon is the result of sunlight taking a detour. When the Earth blocks direct sunlight, the only light that reaches the moon has traveled through the outer edges of our atmosphere. Along the way, a process called Rayleigh scattering strips out shorter wavelengths like blue and violet, allowing only the longer red and orange wavelengths to bend around Earth and reach the moon. This is the same scattering effect that turns our sunsets and sunrises red. And during a total lunar eclipse, the moon is bathed in light, from every sunrise and sunset on Earth, all at once. To an astronaut standing on the moon, the sight would be even more surreal. Earth hanging in the blackness of space, its circumference aglow with a thin ring of fire. The exact shade of a blood moon is like a fingerprint, unique to each eclipse. The brightness and depth of the red depend on the state of Earth's atmosphere at the time. After a major volcanic eruption, for example, ash and aerosols can deepen the color to a dark, almost wine-like red. Occasionally, a thin turquoise fringe appears on the moon's edge as totality begins or ends, caused by the ozone layer filtering out reds and letting through a cooler blue. From a purely scientific perspective, the timing of a lunar eclipse is a masterpiece of precision. Today, astronomers can forecast them centuries ahead, but ancient cultures also had remarkable accuracy. They discovered the Saros cycle, an 18-year, 11-day rhythm in which eclipses repeat with similar geometry. By tracking this pattern, Babylonian astronomers could predict not only when an eclipse might occur, but also whether it would be total, partial, or penumbral. The Chinese imperial court kept similar records, viewing accurate eclipse prediction as a mark of political and cosmic order. But for most of human history, people weren't thinking about orbital mechanics. They were reading the sky for meaning. The The sudden transformation of the familiar moon into a blood-red disk sparked both awe and fear across cultures. In ancient Mesopotamia, a lunar eclipse could mean disaster for the king. The solution was chilling in its pragmatism. Appoint a substitute king to absorb whatever cosmic wrath might be coming. The real monarch would lay low until the danger passed, after which the unfortunate stand-in services were no longer needed. Among the Inca, the blood-red moon was thought to be under attack from a jaguar, devouring its pale flesh. To scare the predator away, people would shout, shake spears, and encourage dogs to howl at the sky. The Maya told similar stories, weaving them into their intricate astronomical records. Some Native American tribes viewed the event more gently. The Hupa and Luceño people of California believed the moon was ill or wounded during an eclipse. Community members would sing healing songs to help it recover. In parts of China, the culprit was not a jaguar, but a celestial dragon, and people would beat drums or ring bells to drive it off. Hindu mythology tells of the demon Rahu, who tried to drink the nectar of immortality. The sun and moon betrayed him, and the gods beheaded him. But his head lived on, chasing and occasionally swallowing the sun or moon in revenge. Even today, some Hindus observe an eclipse with fasting, prayer, or cleansing rituals. In religious contexts, the blood moon has often been tied to prophecy. The Bible's book of Joel speaks of the moon turning to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. In recent years, a series of 4 total lunar eclipses in 2014 and 2015, each coinciding with Jewish holidays, sparked talk of a blood moon prophecy, popularized by American pastor John Hagee. While most faith leaders dismissed the prediction as sensational, it reflected how deeply these events can stir the imagination. In Islam, eclipses are not viewed as omens, but as opportunities for prayer and reflection. The Salat al-Khusuf is performed during a lunar eclipse, serving as a reminder of Allah's power and the fleeting nature of worldly life. Even in the modern age, with our scientific explanations, the blood moon hasn't lost its mystique. For some, it's a time for personal reflection, an invitation to explore hidden emotions, confront shadow aspects of the self, and release what no longer serves them. Astrologers see significance in the moon's position in the zodiac during an eclipse, linking it to themes like renewal, closure, and transformation. The media has added its own flair with terms like super blood wolf moon, layering astronomical descriptors. Supermoon for when the moon is closest to Earth, blood for its color, and wolf for the January full moon's traditional name, into irresistibly dramatic headlines. While purists might prefer the clean accuracy of total lunar eclipse, it's hard to deny that blood moon captures attention. In recent years, total lunar eclipses have even become social events. Cities set up public viewing stations with telescopes, astronomers give talks in parks, and photographers gather to capture the exact moment when the red glow is at its peak. On social media, the hashtag #BloodMoon trends worldwide within minutes, connecting millions of viewers who are, for a short time, looking at the same glowing disk in the sky. The best part? You don't need a telescope to enjoy it. Just step outside on a clear night and you'll see it with your own eyes. That said, binoculars can bring out the details, the craters and Maria etched in copper light, and photographers will find it a rewarding challenge to capture its subtle shifts in tone. Mark your calendar for the next few, March 3rd, 2026, and December 31st, 2028. Each will be a chance to witness not just an astronomical alignment, but a moment that links us to sky watchers stretching back thousands of years. Because in the end, a blood moon is more than a play of light and shadow. It's a reminder that the Earth too participates in the celestial dance, not just passively, but as an active player shaping what we see. It's a spectacle that unites science and story, offering a rare moment when the language of physics and the language of myth point to the same sky. If this sparked a question in your mind, or there's a mystery you've always wondered about, let us know below. We're always looking for the next curious story to unravel. Like and subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover more stories hidden in the world around us.